I guess that perfect transition into the main event. Mark Magsayo defending his title for the first time against Rey Vargas.
Hell of a fight. For the most part.
Yeah. I'm a little hesitant to say hell of a fight because he was just in no man's land for a lot of the fight. Vargas just kept him just that half step. And Magsayo just couldn't figure it out.
And it's crazy because he got one of the greatest trainers of all time. You can't tell him how to. I didn't see Roach make a lot of adjustments.
I don't know. Roach he didn't in the Gary Russell fight either. So
I don't know if that's ever been Freddie's specialty.
Adjustment?
Yeah,
coaching.
Is he? Huh? Oh no,
coaching.
No. So Freddie's a great.
It's whatever we got in camp.
The game.
That's
plan.
what we got.
There's some coaches that
and they thought it was going to be Floyd Mayweather.
And just Freddie at his best. His trademark was his combination punching.
Sure.
He's going to have your offense firing right. But Magsayo, a number of times, Freddie wanted him to let go of his shots more, but Vargas had his respect with some of those counter shots at left hook, some of the punches he walked him into. Vargas got his respect and made him think twice. And like you said, with the half step backwards, knew his range, knew when to step back and tag him. And we talked about this before the fight. I was like, I picked Magsayo, but I don't know as we're closing in now. And part of it was we know Mark is athletic. I talked about this with Shawn before we went to Summer League.
Yeah.
We know he's athletic, that he punches hard and that he's fast and that he has heart. But we didn't know if he was going to be able to make the adjustments in there. And sometimes it was like he tried a few different things. He tried to walk Magsayo in or Vargas into some shots, and that's usually when he had his most success, but he couldn't win consistently rounds doing that. Because if you're waiting on Vargas is active and long, and he's going to get off and land enough to where those one or two counter shots every now and then aren't going to do enough. But that's what he wasn't able to adjust. And hopefully his boxing IQ gets a big lift after this fight, because that is what held him back a little bit in this fight. That and just the great coaching from Nacho Berestein and
Rey
fighting
Vargas,
from Rey Vargas. Yes.
Yes.
Let me address the running. Okay.
I was like the running.
The game is to hit and not get hit.
Of course.
No one's going to stand there and let you just tag their ass. Just because they moving does not mean they running. Come on, Mark, man.
I think
so
that was a bit of a cop-out for Mark, but go ahead.
But so that's the second fight in a row, because he also said Gary Russell ran, and Gary Russell didn't run either.
Just hit him with left. So.
And then
Gary kind of ran.
He was moving, but he's moving. That's I can't wait till Gary he's putting you in a headlock the second he sees you.
Oh man!
But for Sean Gibbons, who I've aired my grievances with before.
Shout out to Sean Gibbons.
So the Rigondeaux Casemiro fight, feel how you feel about it. He talks about running, worst display of boxing he's ever seen. They should withhold his purse.
I knew this was gonna get it.
The next one, Cruz and
You never let that one go.
I'll never let that one go. And then Cruz and Tank, another good fight. Tank ran. He almost ran out of the ring. Called him Gervonta Gamboa or Gervonta Rigondeaux.
What? He said that?
Yeah, after the fight. And so you have that. And then Magsayo Russell in this press conference, in this fight, hopefully he's there to exchange, because my last fight he ran. And I'm like, no, he didn't. He boxed. So if you're going into it with that mindset that he ran, and then last night, I'm looking at it and the post-fight press, right in the ring, did too much running. I was like, unbelievable.
He only said it once, though. You could tell he wanted to say it more times, and he's like, he couldn't bring himself to say it more than the one or two times.
I think that's what I said. It was a cop-out the first time that he said it. What I said to you guys before the fight, I said we're going to find out everything we need to know about Mark Magsayo. He's an athletic talent that he's got things about him that have been untapped. And when you talk about a guy like Freddie Roach, you're like, how can this be? How can he have untapped potential? And I don't know where the disconnect is. I did see some small wrinkles in the fight, but overall we see that Mark, for the sake of words, it seems like number one, he's underprepared for his opponents in terms of their abilities.
Your guy.
And what they can do.
Y'all defensive end.
Oh yeah, there
Myles
he is.
Garrett.
Myles Garrett. Yeah, that's your guy.
Want me to go get him?
Guy. No,
He's gone. He's too fast.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he's a 99 on Madden. So go ahead.
I mean, he's no Nick Bosa, but he's good.
Take it easy.
Mark is underdeveloped even from a mental standpoint, where like a lot of fighters that I know, it's like and myself included, we calculate during the fight. So like we talk about smallest thing, you talk about range and distance. How does a guy determine his range and distance? Well, we throw a jab and we calculate how close we were, or how close that guy was. Not only that, but where that guy moved, how that guy moved, so on and so forth. If you're someone like me, you throw a feint to put that guy back in that position or to see the way he moved. All of those, everything that I just said is you calculating your way through a fight. And Mark does not do that. I think the most Mark did in terms of calculating was, am I close enough to land this overhand right? Am I close enough to land this big hook? And more times than not, he didn't throw anything at all. And it's because he's calculating, I'm not close enough. Nobody showed him how to get closer. Nobody showed him how to close the distance. No one showed him what you do when you close the distance. When you close the distance on the guy,
you still got to punch him.
It's human nature. They're going to punch back.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid of that. You close the distance, you make your move, and you do what you got to do.
Does he get advice from the great Manny Pacquiao?
He should.
He's
but
a genius at stuff like
Shawn,
that.
Manny's not a coach,
right.
you know, and Manny's busy, and the list goes on. So if you can't, and that's why you have a training camp, because stuff is supposed to be taught in repetition, and then fight night. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's much more, and I think that Mark needs much more to go further, because what he has can't beat now. I don't think it beat Gary Russell, and then now it didn't beat Rey Vargas, and I had him being blown out against Rey. You know, so
Santa Cruz.
Well, so that's what were you gonna say, Zittel? Because we can get to what's next.
well, just, you know,
What
I
were you gonna say?
think part of why he would struggle with cutting that distance is, you know, like Pacquiao, those, you know, jumping in with his feet and hands at the same time. They're used to just being able to explode and cut, not even cut the ring off, just jump in and cut the distance that way. And he probably hasn't run into too many 5'10", almost 6 foot featherweights, you know, but it's still things that he has to work on. But
go and take a look back at the fight, because I wrote this down. My dad, one thing he started to really preach as I was kind of growing as a pro was first, second, and third combinations. And what my dad meant by that was the first combination forces the guy to make his defensive move, whether he moves back, whether he tries to catch and counterpunch or whatever. The second combination puts the guy in position for that third combination to land. And so when I watched this fight, you go back and you take a look at it. My Magsayo was throwing a trailing punch. So he was leaping in. It was like 1, 2, 3 punches, and that trailing punch was landing. Mm-hmm. After that trailing punch lands, that's your first combination. Now you make a defensive move, which leads you to your second combination. The second combination is either going to force Rey to move back some more, whatever the case may be. And then you have what my dad perfected, the third combination, which should put you in position to land. Now I'm winning the fight. Why am I winning the fight? Because I threw 3 punches, and then I threw 2 punches, and then I threw 3 more punches. That's eight punches against a guy who can. I was like, I probably should have kept up.
Mathematics.
Yeah, did that right.
Stuff.
Carson said, "Yeah."
But think about it. That's your 8 punches. You didn't get that guy to throw any at all. If you did, you were ready for your defense, and he threw 2 or 3. I mean, math. Well, it all makes sense. You know.
And you saw there was the one round where we kind of joked about it, where I can't remember if it was right at the beginning of the round, but he has like clearly there was something they said to do. Where he has like this, he's getting low.
That was that wrinkle.
And he's cutting off the sides.
We don't have the highlights, so you guys have to go and take a look back.
But it didn't work. And then he went back to it like one time later on.
It didn't work. We've done that.
Yeah.
It didn't
he
work
exaggerated the motion, right?
Very much so.
Yeah.
It didn't work because what do you do
choreographed.
But what do you do on the back end of that? There was nothing on the back end for him. So it didn't. He did the move. He didn't see what he expected to see. Let it go. And that again, that was something my dad wasn't having. Why wouldn't you keep going? Why wouldn't you do this? Why wouldn't you do that? There's got to be more added to Mark's game to not only get him in position, but keep him in position.
And he is still young, in fairness, and he was a champion, and he got knocked down.
Hey, and Vargas fought a great fight.
I was gonna say, and we can get so Magsayo.
He was on his way to the rally till you jinxed him in the 11th.
Man, he came over. He said,
I jinx him though?
Yeah.
The 11 was a swing round of the whole fight.
When you said it, I said that's that. He said this Canelo Bivol the same way.
To be fair, I agreed 100% with Zittel on our preview of the fight where he said, I think Magsayo is going to be down early, but then he's going to catch Vargas or something late. Mm-hmm. And I just start to watch the fight, and I'm like, I see Vargas ratcheting it up. I don't see Magsayo doing that. And so I said, I think he's going to walk Magsayo into something, and then he did. And so when we can flip.
Nah, man, the rally was going down.
Yeah, and I
dropped him
jinxed
in the
it.
ninth, won the 10th, and then Carson
I
said,
turned it around for him. Take that, Sean Gibbons.
And is the 11th round, was that the factor for you guys?
yeah, that left hook that he walked him into and hurt him kind of sealed the deal.
Well, no
Yeah.
factor for me.
What was your score?
you mean
what was your score?
I had it pretty decently
it was
wide as well.
wide.
I had it pretty wide as well.
I mean, I had 115, 112.
I thought
I didn't-
8-4 or
I didn't do
9-3
the
were the
math.
right cards.
Yeah.
8-4 or 9-3.
Yeah,
You probably had 9-3.
I think I had 9-3.
yeah, and
With the knockdown.
Well, I picked him to win, so he got 4 rounds on that.
I might have.